Kelly Hancock, Acting Texas Comptroller, thank you so much and welcome back to Eye on Politics.
Yeah, appreciate it, Jack.
So today, Governor Abbott is formally endorsing you. Of course, he's done so already. How important is that to your campaign when you consider you've got primary challengers who have their own endorsements as well?
Well, it's wonderful. I mean, obviously, we have a very, not only loved, but extremely successful governor who's done a phenomenal job in the state of Texas. So, love to have his backing, and, frankly, I just love having this friendship.
What is your campaign message? What are your top priorities, and why do you think they should be more appealing to Republican primary voters than your competitors?
Yeah, well, I think our message is watch our work. Watch what we do. We've always, I've always been somebody that's more about accomplishment than rhetoric. And so, since I've been in office, we've done a number of things. I mean, we have gotten rid of DEI with state contracts where based on race and based on gender, you got preferential treatment. We've created a level playing field. We've worked with the federal government to get the $11 billion back when it comes to border security because of the billions of dollars that taxpayers in Texas have paid for to secure our border. And in January, we're going to start providing grants for law enforcement working with us for those immigration, arrest, and enforcement of that as well. And we've installed all new financial systems. We're running the agency much more like a business, which is my background. And I think one of the reasons that the governor asked me to step into this role, and very, very importantly, we have already established the rules and we'll be starting February 4th, the largest educational freedom account in the nation, and we're extremely excited about that, especially because of my 13 years on a local school board, and I've been a huge proponent of educational savings accounts for over 30 years now.
And so you said you're operating the agency more like a business.
Oh yeah.
And so have you saved money?
Yes, we've looked at it. In fact, what we're doing with the HUB program will save money. I mean, we're reducing that across the state of Texas. We're auditing every agency. So in fact, we're involved with the governor's office and Texas Rangers on a Texas City today, where we're auditing that, working with DPS as well on border issues, where we're having some tax fraud, working with folks working with the cartels to avoid paying taxes in that area. And we're also working with Texas Southern, where once again, we have audited them in 2019. We're stepping in once again because some issues down there with Texas Southern, and we're auditing every single agency, and that is a major part of the job that we do.
You talked about HUB, which is the historically underutilized business program. You've changed that, obviously, you mentioned it before. How are you going to ensure going forward that people, businesses, et cetera, are getting a fair shake, fair access to state contracts?
Right, that's what this is about, is leveling the playing field, making sure that we don't have discriminatory practices in the state of Texas, and we're doing away with that so that we do have a level playing field. And I think most importantly, Jack, one of my primary obligations in this office is taking care of taxpayer money. And now we're 100% focused on making sure our contracts, our agreements, our purchases are all about best value in the state instead of some, other. That's really what should be our focus, is taking care of those taxpayer dollars.
You talked about school choice. Private schools can begin applying next Tuesday to participate in the Education Savings Accounts program. What are you hearing from schools that have already signaled interest in joining, and what about hesitations from those who haven't decided?
Yeah, we're very excited about it. In fact, we sent out a survey, and the response we are getting already is that 83% of those Catholic and private schools are interested in the program. And so, from day one, I've literally been traveling the state, meeting with those schools, being in those lower income, urban, which is our target, low income, special needs, and really focused on that. And we've been in those communities. I wanted them to see a face and someone that they knew that they could trust, and we just want to be real transparent and know that we're going to be accountable with taxpayer dollars. So I think we're going to have great participation.
Parents can start applying in February, you mentioned that. The rules say students with disabilities and lower income are going to be given a first priority.
Correct.
And so what are you doing to make sure that those families with disabled students and who are from lower incomes know about this?
Right. Yeah, that is, Jack, that's one of the big things that we found out. I wanted to take a business approach to it. This is much like when I started my business from scratch. You know, I didn't inherit a lot of money, and so we started the business from scratch, and that's kind of what the Texas Educational Freedom Counts were. We're starting from scratch, moving that like a business, so we needed to know that foundation of what's our target audience and how knowledgeable they are of the program, and we recognized that they were not as knowledgeable as we wanted them to. So we have a very concerted marketing effort to get the word out to them, and frankly, that's why I've been traveling the state, to get in those communities, to talk with those people, to personally let them know and promote the program.
Do they know about it?
They are getting to know about it. We do have that marketing going on, and that is where we're focused. The good thing about today is, and the way technology works, is we can know and we can assess that as we go, so that we can ramp that up and we can very focused on those markets and those individuals.
And what about the non-negotiables for schools participating in ESAs? In other words, once they sign up, what can't they do?
Well, really, there has to be a certification. They have to have 2 years experience. Other than that, we're not big government. I was there when we passed this. It's a conservative approach where we're not going to tell folks how to teach. That is really the point of Educational Freedom Account, is put that power with the parents, put that power with the schools. And so there's obviously accountability, clearly accountability with the dollars being spent, because those are taxpayer dollars.
My last question to you is, how do you ensure that this stays on track? Because it's going to start in the next fall, right? This coming fall.
Exactly. It's going to start in the fall, and it's 26-27 school year. And so I think that's one of the reasons the governor asked me to step into this role, is I'm very strong on accountability with myself, but with the agency as well. We literally have phone calls every week. I get updates all the time. I'm very involved in the program, and we have a wonderful team. One of the things I wanted to make sure we did from day one is I want everybody on this team, on Texas Education Freedom Accounts, to be passionate about the issue. And I think when you're passionate about the issue, you work harder, and we are on timeline. We're going to make it, and we're going to have not only the largest in the nation, the most successful program in the nation.
Kelly Hancock, thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Jack.
Yeah.